as you've already seen to an extent, and as you will see to a greater extent later, if you have flow from a uniform cylinder, flow of water from a uniform cylinder through a uniform hole, then the depth versus clock time, if y is the depth and t is the clock time, then your depth versus clock time function will be a quadratic function. That is, y equals depth will be a quadratic function of t equals time. Now your typical quadratic, the form of a quadratic is y equals at squared plus bt plus c. And the way we get the quadratic, the specific quadratic for a data set, would be to substitute the coordinates of 3 data points, where y is the depth and t is a time, 3 different y-t pairs, actually ty in that order, ty ordered pairs, would go into this form, give us 3 simultaneous equations, which we then solve. These are going to be linear equations in A, B, and C. We solve them to get the specific function. Now, that's sort of our introduction to quadratic functions. Of course, we assume that you have some familiarity with quadratic functions, the quadratic formula, and so forth. Now, the function y equals at squared plus bt plus c as a graph in the form of a parabola. So y equals at squared plus bt plus c has a parabola for its graph. That parabola, and again we assume you have some familiarity with what a parabola is, that parabola will have a vertex at t equals negative b over 2a, where b is the coefficient of t and a is the coefficient of t squared. C has no effect on the location of the vertex. Having found the t-coordinate of the vertex, you find the x-coordinate of the vertex by substituting the t-coordinate into the form y equals at squared plus bt plus c. Now, of course, in solving the equations, you've got numbers for a, b, and c, so you get a number for y. The graph also has a shape that's identical to that of y equals at squared, so that b and c have no effect on the shape of the graph. B has an effect on the t-coordinate of the vertex. C has an effect only on the y-coordinate of the vertex. Now, of course, all this will be gone over in a lot of detail later on the disk. This is just an overview, an introduction of what you're going to learn. So you're going to learn this about quadratic functions. One, you can obtain one from a depth versus clock time from a flow from a cylinder by solving simultaneous equations. You're going to see that you have a parabolic graph where you can find the vertex and the shape of the graph, and we'll see in a minute more specifically exactly what all that means.